Good evening and morning to you. It's the end of November, aka IAE, aka Star Citizen Christmas. There's a lot of ships and whips to buy out there, with more coming as we make our way through the different manufacturers showcase. Day one, we got the RSI Perseus, which so many people been waiting on since you was a wee lad in the verse back in 2020. The Perseus is guns and butter. Size 8 big boy turrets with smaller ballistics on fire group 2 to pepper up ships that sliding past the main guns. The pilot has access to guns, which a lot of folks will appreciate. It's stock ballistics, so you'll be running out of ammo on patrols, but pilot has controls over torpedoes if it does come down to it. But man, it better be worth it, cause firing them things comes with a price. Almost 600,000 to rearm. Yeah, we know cap ships cost more, but we ain't talking about those. 600,000 is enough to clean out any mission payout if you're splitting it, so financial risk management is a factor with this ship. My advice is scan every abandoned ship you come across for torps that can fit your racks and throw them on your cargo grids to reload your own ship with. Ain't it dope we could do that though? Love this game, man. That's the guns. The butter is the interior, which is 100% Fabu. Running those Zeus-style blue and black colors and textures gives you a happy medium between military function and comfort, like a private military contractor ship in space. I ain't gonna go in depth here, so I'll end it with the holographic basketball court. That shit is a hotness. One day when physics are dialed in, I'm gonna need some actual gameplay for it, cause the planned industrial sports is kinda cool, but actual sports will be better. Satterball. Is the RSI Perseus a smash or pass? If you run the verse with a buddy or three, the man Perseus is a dope ship that'll light the fires for you to cook enemies and have a ball while doing it. From turret gunning and torp loading and keeping a ship battle ready with the incoming engineering, it is multi-crew at its finest without the overwhelming scale of a cap ship. If you a solo player, nah boss, that ain't it. It's gonna be some folks dreaming of taking down big ships solo, but Perseus is a team sport and there's no I in help! Gunner needed now! Rocking the Mercy Kill Percy requires a gunner or you ain't gonna do nothing but take L's, either out in the field when you take size 3 pilot guns to a size 7 fight, or when you get that bill for hundreds of thousands of credits to rearm. But if you just want something you can throw a nurse in and kind of live in, you can do it, but it'd be expensive real estate when there's better options out there. The military ship may be the star of the show, but the non-combatants getting some shine too. We got the RSI Salvation, which we saw a little bit of in the concept stage, but kind of forgot about. I'm gonna say this before moving on. The concepts they were working with back then are killing the finished product. Some folks will beg to disagree, and begging is what you should do, because I mean, this compared to this, yeah, the concept look a lot like the Vulture from Elite Dangerous, but it's hot to death, and that's a good enough reason to rationalize that move. Now it looks like a stretched out pizza roll with some greebling or a stretched out Sidewinder. But I digest. I'm the type of guy that don't give a damn about all that if in the end it's useful. So is it useful? Yes. It depends. It's a starter salvager that carries 6 SCU in the back and 6 in the hopper. So you would make around 96,000 per run, but you know, you got to refine the material so your yield and volume go down. It's an okay intro to salvaging, but how long would you rock with that before upgrading to a bigger salvager or pretty much anything more flexible? Actually, it is a little flexible. You can also throw 6 SCU of cargo in it, which is useful for a quick 50,000 credits hauling or just moving a little cargo from point A to B. So it can moonlight as a small cargo hauler. Where I really see it shining is as a companionship to non-capital ships, ships that typically don't get the benefit of being a mothership to smaller ships that can produce a profit. You can stuff prospectors, fortunes, and vultures in a Polaris or Idris that lets you go out into space, do some mining or salvaging, unload your haul into the motherships and then go back out, rinse and repeat till the mothership is full, or you just ready to call it a night. Now with the Salvation, you can do the same thing with non-capital ships like the Hercules, the Carrack, hell, even the Asgard. Now that's worth the $55, $60 tag on it. The Golem Ox. Now here's an example of variants doing it right. The OG Golem was just right for short-range mining trips or packing into a Polaris or Idris. 32 SCU of ore was super surprising for a hull that size. That Ox though, Carrying 2 size 32 containers is boss mode. That puts it up there with the whole A, and it's easier to load since you're not stacking 2 sides of the ship. This is almost on the level of the raft as far as loading. And it's got a tractor beam on the boom arm? Come on, man. That means you can pull up to the new freight elevators and get in and out like her man on the way home. It's like an Argo tractor on muscle milk. If you ever unloaded a cap ship with the Argo tractor, dope experience. But if you got an Ox, you can do the same thing in a quarter at a time, because 4 times the space, baby. If you're out there looting ships for cargo and weapons with a cap ship, I think the Ox might be mandatory. L22 Alpha Wolf just makes you sound certified when you say it out loud. Not a whole lot to say here. The L21 Wolf is a better lover than a fighter in my 100% personal opinion. It's a sexy, flexy work of art that you wait on till Sunday, then mount up and throw on your flying goggles to blow through the clouds in for the experience. Then you park it in the most visible location in your hangar for folks to look at. It's a Jay Leno collector's classic. The Alpha Wolf is no different. It's a variant that you use adjectives on like elegant, sophisticated, and iconic, except this time it's bespoke lasers instead of ballistics and size 2 missiles instead of size 1. Who could blame you to still take this on as a combat ship though? It can duck and dodge between enemy fire like Terrence Crawford to deliver small but persistent pew-pews. Then you got the option to buy a kit to swap out the lasers for ballistics. Same goes for the L21. There's a kit to swap out the ballistics for bespoke lasers. But if you're really getting your Jay Leno on and got both of them, you can swap the lasers and ballistics between them. Smash or pass? This is a luxury piece, not a fundamental play. If you got the extra coins, definitely a smash to hit the space autobahn and enjoy the speed. The Grey Cat MDC, variant of the previous MTC. Together they're the MXC. Definitely an upgrade for solo players or even groups that typically have a player in a donut coma sitting on the turret. Come stock with a ballistic PDC. Yeah, I know it's PDT, but a lot of us are already used to the word PDC from other games, so whatever. These will give you some protection while you trying to slurp up that last scoop of ramen noodles and wipe your face by automatically giving hostiles the butt-da-da-da-da. Ballistics will have more shine in patch 4.5 since they can penetrate shields to keep attackers busy putting out fires on their ships. But if you don't want to run home to reload, a laser variant's available to purchase in-game and a missile variant to give diving ships the chicken pox on their face. Best of all, they'll continue running security for you while you park it and hop out to handle your biz on foot, and that's a huge benefit. A determined player ain't gonna run for the hills from a single PDC, but it's enough of a deterrent from the typical cowards that only look for helpless targets instead of a real fight. For 45 to 50 bones, I expect this to sell like 80% off RAM sticks. Next year, we'll see the Mobile Fabrication Center version for some crafty out in the field. That brings us to the most divisive ship and my personal favorite so far, the Drake Mother Clipper. Ever since the Citizen Con where they showed that silhouette that was reminiscent of both the Drake Corsair and the Lambda class T4A shuttle, we've been drooling over this joint wondering what it could be. It's here now, and it is both Corsair and Star Wars-esque. This ship is so Mando, man. It's got a tall, narrow fuselage like the Razor Crest and just 2 meters longer, so a Jawa might need a little more time to disassemble it. Then again, like somebody pointed out, it also looks like a Jawa truck with wings. Can we also get a Jawa sandcrawler, please and thank you? It's 4.5 meters wider than the Razor Crest and 7.5 meters taller. The Mando mover drew inspiration from the A-10 Warthog, which you can see in the top-mounted engines, but Corsair lowered them closer to amidships, which is a solid move that makes them more distinct from the shape of the cutter. Plus, with the wings mounted to them, it lowers the height restrictions of where it can squeeze into. And I don't know about y'all, but the damn 3 different sizes of engines goes hard, boss. It was like, yeah, the engines ain't symmetrical, but we don't give a For anybody wondering, the wings only operate with the landing gear, so you can't retract them for regular flight and you can't land with them extended. Even the interior got the Razor Crest vibe. Different materials, but the same verticality and skeletal, unadorned look that makes a Drake a Drake. They said they designed it for the generalist playstyle. That is me, and that might be you too. If it is, this got a little bit of everything. 4 size 3s to show the space bullies they ain't had a big enough bowl of porridge to be pulling up on you like that. 12 SCU cargo grid to run anything from a quick hauling job to buy a new component or to loot weapons and gold from that other shit that overstayed its welcome at the back alley brawl. The thing got a med bed, so you can run those ground ops without worrying about waking up thousands of megameters away with an IV drip in your arm looking for a way to get back for that revenge kill. And a crafting fabricator? I saw it and was like, nah, can't be. But yes, you can craft up some crafty out in the middle of space without sacrificing the limited cargo space you got. A lot of folks think corpulence is a sign of opulence, aka big ships equal big money makers. But it'll be lone wolves and ships like this crafting their way up the financial food chain without attracting a lot of attention. I love that a lot of folks don't like it. I don't want to see everybody out flying the same ship as me. I'm trying to get my Mando on in them space lanes, so go ahead and find you something else to fly that appeals to the masses. At $135 a war bond, this and the Cuddy Red are the least expensive ships that'll get you a med bed and a regular bed to log out in. Well, at least till they take the sim out of simming by downgrading to a game where beds are pretty much decoration and they give you a cookie if you use it. And you can throw a bike in it and ride out like Darth Maul on Tatooine. While everybody's trying to find a parking space in the Perseus, I'm gonna be out there making it happen in the Clippy, because all Clippy wants to do is help. Since right now you can buy all the ships, let's go ahead and run down the 2025 releases. We ain't gonna go deep, but here's the tea on them. The Apollos. A lot of folks think the Apollo Medevac and Triage are too big, but I think they feel like an actual starship. Make me feel like a man in the helm of Captain Crusher's medical ship. The med bed options mean you're never running out of respawn space or have to run back to base to heal your Civil War level injuries. 32 SCU with half on port, half on starboard mean you and the buddy can loot all day and keep your boxes organized so you ain't fist fighting over whose Pico plushie is whose. And it got just enough room to throw a Pulse hover bike in the back. That paint though, as cool as the paints are for it, the wear and tear on them starts to get bad in just a couple hours for some reason. Give me a handheld paint repair rifle and I'd be happy to chill out touching up my paint in EVA. It's the ultimate FPS op ship and definitely a must for orgs who need mass respawns without a queue. And for Asgard, hands down one of the most, if not the most popular ships of 2025. Beautiful in a tanky way on the outside, Spartan but useful on the inside if you want to pack as many vehicles and small ships into a practical package. It can fit a tank in it or 180 SCU of cargo, so room for days. A lot of folks call it a bigger Cuddy Black, which makes it one of the best multi-purpose ships in the verse. The amount of guns tricks folks into thinking it's a combat beast, but they're size 3, so good for toe-to-toe with something Hornet size, but ships slow enough to stay in its targets can absorb the damage and fire bigger things back at it. Make sure to watch out for the missile launcher on top. It's the first thing to get knocked off in some shifty cuffs. You can check out my dedicated video on it here. Argo CSV-SM, great little truckie to run loot ops with a covered cabin. It's got a big footprint, so there's better options out there for that, but very useful around a hangar to move 6 SCU of cargo from bigger ships that can't back into the hangar. Geo, what is my purpose? You get traded in for the battlesuit version. Oh, now the Geo's cool, but its intended purpose is pretty niche. Personally, I like going out and doing some ATLS mining in the middle of nowhere, then dumping the boxes on my ship. It's probably not for everybody, but it does jump though, which is kind of worth it just for that, whether you use it or not. Actually, where it's most useful is at the caves at Hather. Makes mining quicker and deadlier for you and everybody in the cave with you when you forget to toggle the laser power. And you need it down there to crack open the bigger rocks, so kind of mandatory for that gameplay or trading with the Bandu plug for the combat version. Greycat MTC, I dig the idea on paper. Little 18 wagon with a remote turret and some gun racks to hop out the whip and go to work. But now that the MDC is out, I just can't see it. Since the NERSA exists, you really need a reason that transcends the convenience of a med bed to pull out any vehicle of this size. The MDC has PDCs to protect you. What does this have? Visually, the Guardians, mwah! It's got that sleek otherness to it that really brings next level diversity to the ships you see out in the verse. And having an interior is a really nice cherry on top. The quarters are cozy with chill lighting when you're done pew-pewing. But for me though, and I'm only speaking for myself, that thing got a jaw softer than baby thighs. 3 times, a single missile has put me to soft death bed. If hangars had turntables, I'd definitely buy one in game to sit it on that and class up the joint, but you don't catch me fighting in it these days. L21 Wolf, pretty much see the L22 Wolf section from before. Meteor, Really love the RSI Meteor, but I kind of just forgotten about it. It's a super scrappy little ship that'll give you 2 black guys and start working on your ribs with them cannons before you can react. Big improvement on the Mantis interior, which makes it a ship you'd actually want to spend time in. Does have its flaws though. That flawless speed it has is necessary because you can't take too many hits in it or you be floating in EVA hoping you can get her cranked back up before you can get pancaked by anything medium and up. Man, I don't really know what to say about the Paladin. I love that thing as the big sis of the Valk and the Asgard. Looks like a bruiser. Interior might be my favorite of all the military type ships. I want to be into it more, but it just, like they say about a lot of ships, wait till armor comes in. Yeah, okay, but cheesecake to cheesecake, it gets beat down pretty quick on patrol missions. Part of that is probably durability, but the other part is definitely the crew arrangement. You should never have more than one dedicated gunner trying to pew-pew on this ship. The remote turret that slip and slides up the body is out of this world hot. I likes it and I wants it. But going down to the gunner level deprives the pilot of one of their guns, which is no bueno, man. Armor is in testing now, but it's a little early to start making judgments yet, but we'll see. The Prowler U is just incredible looking. Nice piece of fractal arc for your hangar. Very dope for stealth runs since it can hide signatures with the best of them for some run up on them love. Good for orbital dropping ICDs into locations. And the tractor beam make it a super cool small hauler since you don't even have to leave the pilot seat to open it up and start tractoring up to 32 SCU of boxes in. Gray's Market Shiv pours some Mountain Dew in the verse with its welded together parts from various ships. The shantytown aesthetic does hide some solid performance. It's fast, it stops on a dime, it might shed parts, but it can take a punch. I'm hoping it does well and is the catalyst for a lot more ships like it in the future. One of my favorite ships here, the Starlancer TAC, is big, it's slow, but it's a crewed up paradise. Tourist stations for days, med beds for ground ops, dedicated engineer room for the talented introverts to get to work, comfy hab and mess area, plenty of room for 96 STU of cargo or a ground vehicle, and even a hangar to launch your Fury out of. Chef's kiss there too. My comparison of the TAC and Asgard is here. Stinger. The new Van Duel ship is killing it in the HR Geiger kind of way. The first one in the verse with the updated Van Duel aesthetic. It can put some pew-pews on them boys. If it can get its big back around the return fire. The ship is so slow. You don't want to get hit by it, but unless you're also slow, you're probably not gonna. It's cool seeing a bit more Van Duel styling in the interior. The audio though, it's like being stuck in a horror ambiance you can't escape. With some balancing, I think it'll be good in the future. IAE is always exciting. Everybody get to dreaming up what they're gonna do with the latest new. Then there's folks like me that dig the spectacle of what amounts to a futuristic car show. So I'll be talking about more ships later. If you're over there sitting the bench, now's a good time to hop into the verse for free 99 to see what all the noise is about. If you use the referral code in the description, you step in with a lot more creditini Alfredo than you would otherwise. While you're over there trying to narrow down some choices to make a move on during the expo, here's a list of some you might want to think twice about before pulling the trigger on. Big shout out to the Optimus Prime Time executive bosses, the Huntress, Lone Wolf, Eyes Open 2018. Salute Patreons, YouTube members, super chatters, folks visiting the Boss Supply merch store. Big thanks, Fambinos. Fly dirty, citizen.